What's going on, my beautiful people? It's Damocles, and today we are talking about the latest Outriders patch. Does this save the game? Does it help the game? Does it hurt the game? Let's talk about it. So, the newest Outriders patch, which came out 2 days ago, was the first balance patch since the original balance patch they released like launch week that nerfed a bunch of stuff and people didn't like and soured a lot of people's opinions on the game. This balance patch has no nerfs in it, but does it actually do anything? And I'm going to talk about it a little bit later, but the answer is pretty much no, in my opinion. The other thing that is a part of this patch is the appreciation package, which is long overdue. And I guess we'll just start off with that. The appreciation package is finally here. If you logged in, even though you probably have the bug that makes it so all of your inventory has exclamation points on it, so you can't really tell what you got. Basically, the appreciation package just gives you a random God roll legendary weapon which you don't previously have, which not necessarily true, because a large amount of people, myself included, got legendaries that we already had. So strike one didn't really help that much. Some people got nice stuff, some people got useless stuff. Again, it just seems like it's this trend of like one step forward, two steps back with this game. You know, I love this game, but come on guys, 2 months, by the way, basically what, 2.5 months since the launch of this game, and now we're finally getting the appreciation package, and it is one legendary weapon that should be something that everybody can use or wants to use, but it doesn't seem to be. Extra titanium based on your character's level, and a frustration emote. I just feel like after 2.5 months, should be a little bit more. Just my opinion, and it should be like perfect in its execution. No, I mean, it's literally just giving out a legendary weapon and an emote. Why did it take 2.5 months, and why is it still not working correctly? I don't know. So on to the next part. Let's talk about the balance changes. So obviously, first balance pass, not appreciated by the community. Nerfed a bunch of stuff, nerfed timers, nerfed builds, and the game was broken at the time, so people were not appreciative, and they're still not appreciative. And this didn't revert any of that. So if you're wondering or you're hoping for the reverting of some of those nerfs, didn't happen. But let's talk about it. So health on armor, they basically just like increased health across the board on armor pieces, trying to make people tankier. I think this is nice, but it's like doesn't really, I mean, whoop-de-doo, to be honest. Maybe you get an extra 2k, 3k, 4k health, but it doesn't really butter no parsnips, if you know what I'm saying, as far as the complaints about people in this game, or the complaints people had in this game, and stuff that they wanted to see changed. I mean, 2.5 months to this new balance patch, we got to see some big things, right? Devastator, reflect bullets. Oh, by the way, they basically said like a lot of these balance changes, they wanted to kind of like bring up some things that were lagging behind or that people weren't using, but like I don't really think they hit those points. You guys let me know in the comments below if you do. So, reflect bullets, base damage increased to 250%. I still don't think people are going to use this that much. It's a super niche ability. It's not like people weren't using it because it sucked. People weren't using it because it's like, okay, how many instances are you going to actually be using this? And the answer is not that many, especially when the goal of the game is speedrunning. And, it's a good damage increase, but at the end of the day, is anybody going to change their Devastator builds? No. So again, kind of useless. Again, I'm not going to go over every single little niche thing here, just kind of the bigger ones. Impale. They touched Impale, which nobody else is going to touch Impale, so they have to. And HP regen increased by 50%, which is cool, but it's like people aren't using it, again, because of the bug. Well, I mean, some people are using it. I shouldn't say that. People are using it, but a lot of people don't like it right now. And what is the main community concern with it? It's that it's not buggy, but it doesn't actually kill the enemy until the entire animation is done. And does this patch fix it? No. They say right below, We know people want to do that, but we can't do it yet. This is 2.5 months down the road, people. I'm just saying. This is after 2 months. That still is not getting changed. Like, that change alone would be more than all the other Impale changes, right? Pyromancer, Phaser Beam. Base damage increased by 100%. SPF has been set to 2.1, meaning the scaling that it gets from status power. Cool. Phaser is still not going to be used in super endgame content. Obviously, you can use it in my Pyro budget build because it's nasty, and that makes the budget build even more nasty. Go check that out in the description below. No legendaries, no tier 3s. Really great to level up. But again, is this anything game-changing? No, it's not really gonna. It's not gonna shake things up. Technomancer, Tool of Destruction. Basically, RPG got buffed. Whoop-de-doo. I know the problem people have with Tool of Destruction isn't just, it's not like, oh, RPG is bad or whatever. It's the actual skill itself, the clunkiness of using the ammunition and all that, and like the fact that you move so much slower, the fact that blighted rounds does not apply to it. Like, all of these things should have been changed before just you go and increase its, or decrease its fall off from range. Like, that's not what is keeping people away from this. And this is why it's like, it's so aggravating, because it's like, okay, you're buffing it, but you're not buffing it for the reason that people actually want. Like, you gotta listen, right? Fixing Wave. This didn't need to be touched. Let's be real. A Fixing Wave, people use Fixing Wave. If people don't use Fixing Wave, then they're doing a speed running build, and they're trying to get as much damage out as possible. It's not because Fixing Wave doesn't fix you enough. Cold Snap, it's basically just making it try to be more of a damage skill, like these mod damage increases and the armor reduction. But again, doesn't really matter too much. It's not gonna change anything. People aren't gonna go and substitute actual damage mods and skills for that stuff. Freeze Turret, no one's gonna touch that. Borrowed Time, base damage by aggressive teleportation mod is increased. Like, nobody cares about this. Temporal Slice, this is a nice buff for for tricksters, but it boosts their their AP builds. But again, it's the same situation. It's like, is this really what we waited 2.5 months for? Is this gonna shake up the game? Is this gonna make it so it brings people back to the game and shows the community that, hey, we're listening, we're doing our best? And it's like, I know that the devs are trying. Like, I'm not saying that. I love this game. I'm always gonna love this game. But like, man, it's a hard sell. Like, if someone comes up to me and is like, hey, AD, they just released this balance patch. Like, should I come back? It's like, not much has changed, to be honest. So that's it for me, guys. Let me know how you feel about it. I'm really curious to see how you feel. Let me know down below. That's going to be it for me. The Damocles out.